In a kingdom where dreams and danger dance hand in hand, a curse waits to silence a princess forever. But what if one kiss could change everything? In a kingdom nestled between rolling emerald hills and silver-threaded rivers, there once stood a palace that shimmered like a dream caught in sunlight. Its towers reached toward the sky as if yearning for the stars, and its gates opened wide to welcome joy, music, and hope. This was the kingdom of Aurelia, ruled by a king and queen whose greatest wish was not wealth, nor conquest, nor power, but a child. For many long years, the palace echoed only with the footsteps of servants and the quiet prayers of the royal couple. Each night, the queen gazed from her balcony at the moon, whispering her longing into the wind. And each morning, the king held her hand, promising that hope would one day answer them. That answer arrived on a spring morning when church bells rang with a happiness so pure it made even the birds pause mid-flight. The queen had given birth to a daughter, a princess. The entire kingdom celebrated. Streets were lined with flowers, fountains ran with rose petals, and lanterns glowed late into the night. The child was named Aurora, for she arrived at dawn, wrapped in soft light and promise. Her cries were gentle, her smile effortless, and from the moment she opened her eyes, it felt as though warmth had returned to the world. The king declared a grand christening feast, inviting nobles, villagers, and most importantly, the fairies, ancient beings of magic who guided fate itself. 3 good fairies arrived, radiant and kind, each bearing a blessing for the child. The first fairy stepped forward, her voice calm as a summer breeze. She blessed Aurora with beauty, not just of face but of spirit. The second fairy followed, gifting her the blessing of kindness, so her heart would always remain open and compassionate. Then came the third fairy, raising her wand to grant the gift of wisdom, so the princess would grow with understanding and grace. But before the blessing could be completed, the air grew cold. The doors of the palace burst open, and silence fell like shattered glass. From the shadows emerged Maleficent. She was a fairy, once powerful, proud, and feared, but long ago, bitterness had twisted her magic. Her cloak billowed like storm clouds, her staff crackled with dark energy, and her eyes burned with ancient resentment. She had not been invited. Her voice echoed through the hall as she approached the cradle. With a cruel smile, she spoke a curse that froze every heart in the room. Before the sun sets on her 16th birthday, Maleficent declared, the princess shall prick her finger on the spindle of a spinning wheel and fall into a sleep as deep as death itself. Gasps filled the hall. The queen collapsed in grief. The king drew his sword, but Maleficent vanished in a whirl of shadows and smoke. Hope flickered, but did not die. The third fairy, who had not yet given her blessing, stepped forward. She could not undo the curse, but she could soften it. The princess shall not die, she proclaimed. Instead, she will fall into a deep sleep, from which she may awaken only through true love's kiss. Though relief stirred, fear remained. The king ordered every spinning wheel in the kingdom destroyed. Fires burned day and night as spindles were broken and cast into ash. Guards were stationed at every gate. Aurora would be protected. To ensure her safety, the good fairies whisked the child away to a hidden cottage deep within the forest. There she would be raised in secrecy, unaware of her royal identity, until the day she turned 16. They named her Briar Rose. Years passed like soft pages turning in a book. Aurora grew into a young woman of remarkable grace. She sang with the birds, danced among wildflowers, and spoke to the forest as though it listened, and it did. Her laughter seemed to brighten the sky, and her kindness left echoes wherever she walked. Though she lived a simple life, something in her heart always felt unfinished, as if she were waiting for something she could not name. On the morning of her 16th birthday, Aurora wandered through the woods humming a melody that felt older than memory. It was there she met Prince Philip. Their meeting was brief, accidental, and yet unmistakably fated. They danced among the trees, spoke of dreams, and in a single afternoon felt a bond stronger than reason. Before they parted, Philip promised to see her again. But fate was already in motion. As dusk fell, Aurora returned home only to be told the truth. She was a princess. The kingdom awaited her. Her life, as she knew it, was ending. Heartbroken and confused, she followed the fairies back to the palace. And there, drawn by an unseen force, Aurora climbed a winding staircase she had never noticed before. At the top, in a forgotten tower, stood a spinning wheel. Time slowed. Aurora reached out. The spindle gleamed, and destiny fulfilled itself. She pricked her finger. Aurora collapsed, sinking into a sleep deeper than night. Maleficent's laughter echoed across the land. Thorns erupted around the castle, thick and impenetrable. The entire kingdom fell asleep, frozen in time waiting. Years passed. Legends grew. Princes tried and failed to breach the thorns until one day, Prince Philip returned. Guided by the fairies, armed with courage and love, he faced Maleficent in a final battle of light and shadow. With unwavering resolve, he struck her down. The thorns fell. Philip rushed to Aurora's chamber, where she lay as beautiful and peaceful as the day she fell, asleep. He leaned close and kissed her. Light flooded the room. Aurora awoke. The kingdom stirred. Time resumed its breath. Joy returned to Aurelia. Stronger than ever before, Aurora and Philip were wed. Not just in ceremony, but in spirit. Two souls awakened together. And so the kingdom flourished. Not because a curse was broken, but because love endured. And from that day forward, the bells of Aurelia rang not in warning, but in hope.